Hi third graders, and welcome to our first video. I hope that you find these fun. I'm going to try not to make them too long, and you and your parents can watch them anytime you want to. But I'd like to start by showing you our spelling words and reminding you to work through them. So we're actually going to talk through all 5 of them, and you have on your has for Tuesday to practice them. And then you are going to also practice them when you watch the video and, of course, in class. So I'm going to practice them just real quick with you, and that will be your practice for today. And so the first one, union, is spelled U-N-I-O-N. And I want to think about a sentence for that. Some of you have heard of Union Bridge. That's actually a place. But sometimes we talk about union as we talk about a nation. And if a nation has a government, sometimes we say that there is a union there. It's used in lots of different ways, and it's kind of a tough word for third graders, but I'm pretty sure you can learn how to spell it. Our second one is we definitely should know how to spell the place we live. A-M-E-R-I-C-A. So I like to divide my words up into parts when I spell them. And so maybe that would be helpful for you too. Am, A-M, air, E-R, I-C-A. So maybe try that. Our third word is the United States. U-N-I-T-E-D-S-T-A-T-E-S, and you should be saying these with me as we go through. That's a part of the name of the place we live, so we should know how to spell that. People, P-E-O-P-L-E, and finally, liberty, L-I-B-E-R-T-Y. Now, yesterday I was talking to Mrs. Wheeler, and I was telling her about these tough spelling words that you guys had. She said, wow, those are really hard for third graders. And I said, well, I'm pretty sure they can do them. So I want you to prove me right. And when I give you a little test next week, I want to be able to go to Mrs. Wheeler and say, look, they got them all right. So work really hard on those. Okay, let's also get out our poem. And I want to see how many of you already know those first 2 lines. So I want you to shout really loud through the computer these 2 lines. And let me read them first. We, the people of the United States. So we've got those spelling words, although you can't see those now right now. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. That's all you have to learn this week. Super easy, I think. Especially since 3 of those are your spelling words. So I want you to shout it really loud through the computer so that I can hear it here in my basement where I'm making this video. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I actually think that I heard it. All right, so one more time. We the people, all together, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. That's what you have to memorize this week. So let's see if you can come in with that much memorized by Monday, but just keep practicing. Now, here's a secret. I always tell my third graders that you have got to drive your parents crazy with the jingles, with the poems, and any other little ditties like this that we're learning. But don't tell them that I said that. So maybe you're riding in the car and you all of a sudden go, hey, Mom, we the people of the United States, and you recite it in the car. Or maybe you recite it when you're out playing or when you run in for dinner. After you say grace at dinner, maybe you recite it. So just make sure you're reciting it a lot. And then we'll test you a little bit. We'll see who knows it next week. And remember, I have a prize box, and it's gotten really full this summer. So I definitely want to work on getting that kind of unfilled a little bit. So you guys have to help me with that. All right. There were a couple of things that we did not do in class on Monday, so I want to make sure that we go over those so that I am sure that you understand those things. And so I handed out your book to you, and it was in this nice little workbook. And so what you have to do is with your mom, not all by yourself, but with your mom, I want you to get that workbook out, and your mom is going to help you to rip those pages. They're actually perforated so that you can rip them out. So your mom's going to rip out probably a good 10, 15 of those sheets of paper, and you're going to put them in your binder in the grammar section. So I want to make sure that happens today. So if your mom kind of ran off somewhere and she's not sitting there with you, you might want to pause the video and say, hey Mom, Mrs. Jernigan said I have to do this. Make sure that it's ripped out and put in your binder. Because on Monday, you're going to get another book. It's your writing one, and we're going to put that in your binder as well. So your mom's going to rip that out. You're going to put it in your binder. Now, there's also jingles and reference sheets in your book, and your mom needs to work or look through the book and find those, and she's going to put those in your binder as well. So it's probably going to be a little bit later in your binder. And then on Monday, I'm going to take a little check and see if your binders have all of those things in them, just so that we have everything that we need every week in class. And what you want to do right now is get out the page, and I'm not sure what page it is in your book. I actually do not have it with me. I have my book, but it says Unit 1, Group A, Kinds of Sentences at the top. And I will check to see if I can find that page number, but it doesn't tell me. Actually, it says student page 1. So it would be page 1 in the pages that you ripped out. I need you to find page 1. Now, maybe you already did some homework on that on Tuesday. But if not, I need you to get that out because we're actually going to go over it because I want to make sure that you did everything I need you to do on that sheet. Now, in the world of words, there are 4 kinds of sentences, and I'm going to tell you what those are. And I'm sure you guys probably already know what all of these are, but I am going to just go over it to make sure that we all know what they are. And I'm going to grab a marker. And we're going to write them on the board. Okay, the first one, and hopefully if I can get my head out of the way, is the declarative sentence. A declarative sentence is what I call a boring old sentence. It's boring. It's not very exciting. So if I said the cat went to sleep, the dog ran out of the yard, the truck started, all of those are just boring old sentences. They're declarative. Now we can make them a lot more exciting, and we will as we go through the year. But they're just declarative sentences. So I need you to remember that. And declarative, our abbreviation for homework, if you haven't already done the homework, is a D. So remember that. The second type of sentence that we have is, it's the one that your mom probably uses a lot with you. It is the imperative, and it is the one where she tells you, Johnny, do your homework. Or, Mary, eat dinner. It is a command. And you guys probably use this one a lot too with your siblings. Give me that back. Go to your own room. We use those a lot with our family. So when your mom says, eat your dinner, or go to bed. Those are imperatives. They are commanding you to do something. Now the next one is also one you probably use a lot. And that one is a long one. It's called an interrogative. Interrogative means question. So you ask lots of questions, right? You guys are constantly raising your hands in class. Mrs. Jernigan, I have a question. Those are interrogative sentences. Where is my book? Where is my dinner? Where is my favorite toy that my brother stole? Those are all questions, and they have a question mark at the end. Actually, we'll put them here. And these two just have periods, but the imperative can also have an exclamation point. Like if you are really serious about, give me that toy back, you might want to put an exclamation point. So the question, where is my toy? Where's my dinner? Those are interrogative. Now the next one is exclamatory. And those definitely have an exclamation point. Those are my favorites. So if I said something like, tomorrow's Friday, that's exclamatory. I get to go get ice cream. That's exclamatory. And that one is going to have an E. So I've given you the letters that go in this worksheet. And so we're going to work through that. Some of you have maybe already done it on Tuesday. And if you didn't do it on Tuesday, because I didn't give you instructions in class, so I apologize for that, then we're going to actually work through it right now. So you want to have that worksheet out in front of you. And the first one, and you need to make sure you put the period at the end of the sentences. So the first one says, and this is exercise 1 of page 1, it says Frank helped his father. Well, that's kind of a boring old sentence. So what do you think that one's going to be? We need to look at our letter choices. Whoops, standing on the wrong side. Our letter choices, and we would choose one of these. Well, if you chose D, then you were correct. It's just a boring old sentence. You're going to put a D in the blank, and then you're going to put a period at the end of the sentence. The next one is our treehouse is falling down. Now, if I'm in the treehouse, or I'm standing under it, and it just starts to fall down, and I say, our treehouse is falling down, I don't have enough emotion. If that treehouse is falling down, I need to know it. Our treehouse is falling down. So that one would be exclamatory. I'm claiming something. I'm using my loudest voice. These are loud voice sentences. So you're going to put an E, and then you're also going to put that exclamation point at the end of the sentence, because that's a horrible thing. Okay, here's the next one. Put your bicycle in the garage. Now remember, I said that your mom uses these a lot. So I will tell you, I'll narrow it. It's one of the I words. So if you didn't pick it already, it's going to be the imperative, just the I. Or you could put IMP. And you want to put a period after that one. Now sometimes, remember I said you could put exclamation points with those. But in this case, we'll just put the period. All right, here's another one. Are you going to the party? Now, which one is that? Well, it's going to be the one that uses the question mark. So you have to find that, and that would be the big long word, interrogative. And you want to put INT. It's a question. So any question is going to be INT. And then you put the question mark after it. The next one, we went fishing Saturday morning. It's kind of a boring one. So which one do we choose? Which is the boring word? Well, that's the first one. So we're going to put a D and a period. All right, here's another one. I might say this one to one of my children. Go to town around noon today. Telling somebody to do something. Remember, that's the command, the imperative. So we're going to put I or IMP and a period. A blue jay ate all our garden seeds. Now, if I had a bunch of garden seeds laying out and I was getting ready to plant my garden and a blue jay came along and ate all of them, I would be really upset. And I would probably say that with a lot of emotion. A blue jay ate all our garden seeds. So which one would I put? Well, it's probably this one because I want to put this at the end. And I'm going to put an E. Here's another one. Number 8. Are these boats in the race? Well, that's going to have a question mark at the end of it. There's that. So I have to use the INT. Number 9, I hope you enjoy your visit. Kind of a boring sentence. And that one's just going to be D. So up there, D and the period. And finally, lock the door on your way out. So when my children leave, sometimes I tell them, lock the door on your way out. And it's a command. I'm telling them to do something. And it's going to be imperative with the period. So hopefully you understand what those 4 types of sentences are. We will be reviewing those over the next couple of weeks. But what you need to do for tomorrow's homework, I believe it's tomorrow's homework, and here's in front of me, is that you are going to do the second exercise and you are going to write your own of each of these. Now, it might be something that you need to get to help your mom to help you with. Maybe she needs to actually help you write the words. That's okay. You could dictate it to her, the sentence that you want to write. She can write them in. If you feel very confident writing them in, then you go ahead and write them in. But I know in 3rd grade, sometimes we're not very confident of our writing. So make sure you ask your mom when you need help, or let me know on school days and I can help you. So you've learned those sentences. Now, this workbook or worksheet should go back in your binder. So that is, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds and I want you to open up your binder. And while I'm getting ready for our next part with writing, I want you to put that worksheet in your binder. If you need to get up and go to the bathroom and get a drink, then you need to hit pause, and we'll come back in just a second and do our writing part. So go ahead and put your worksheet away, and then do your quick break with a pause, and then we'll come back and do our writing. All right, so you're back and I'm back, and the last thing that I want to go over, remember you're working on your preamble, those first 2 lines. Remember you're writing all of your spelling words over there and learning those really well. And you are going to be writing one of each of those sentences that I put up there. And the last thing that you're going to do for homework tomorrow, before you come back on Monday, is that you are now going to write a keyword outline about yourself. So remember last week we did my keyword outline and I told you all about myself, and then you did all the keywords and kind of made fun of me dyeing my hair and that I'm really old. So you're going to do your own, and I'm going to walk you through it so that you can already start to think about what you want to put in there. And then I will send your moms a little email and a little outline sheet that you can put your own words in on Thursday. So this will be, I believe, for Thursdays. Let me just make sure. Yes. So we're actually going to do it, and then you're going to do it really nice on the outline sheet, but you'll have to tell your mom about yourself on Thursday because she might want to get to know you a little bit. All right. So remember, we started off with a Roman numeral 1. And that Roman numeral 1, we put Mrs. Jernigan, I think maybe 57, something like that. So you want to put your name. And you can go ahead and get out a sheet of paper and do this right now because it's like we're in class. But you want to put your name and maybe how old. Maybe your birthday. Something like that. Now, don't panic. If you don't get all of this done while we do the video, remember, I'm going to send this to your mom so she has it for Wednesday and Thursday. So don't panic if you're not moving quite as fast. You also do not need to write these words. You just need to write your own name. So I assume David is going to write David, and then how old he is and what his birthday is. And I assume that Elise is going to write her name, how old she is, and her birthday. And the same for Liana. And the same for Grace. Let's see if I can remember everybody in the class. Let's see, those middle girls. Karina would write her name here. Miss Marins would write her name here. Miss Loftness would write her name here. Mr. Grinchick would also be putting his name there. Mr. McFarland. I'm trying to think through everybody in that back row. And I know that I'm forgetting some names. So if I forgot your name, then you might get a prize on Monday. But don't tell anybody else. Okay, I'll keep trying to think just to make sure. There's so many girls in that class. And I'm trying to think if I've missed anybody. And I'm sure that I have. So you let me know on Monday who I missed. And you'll have to get a prize. All right. Then we are going to have 5 in our keyword outline. So you can number 5 if you want, or you can go as long as we go. Now, in this first one, I want you to tell me about your family. So maybe siblings, that new dog you got, Mr. Edwards. Things like that. Tell me about your family. Then in number 2, I want you to tell me about things you like to do, sports. If you have any sports. So we'll put here sports, or let's do music, because some people don't do sports, but they do music and vice versa. So I want you to tell me, like, if you like soccer, you could write soccer. If you're the goalie, you could tell me you're the goalie. If you play baseball and you're in the outfield, you could tell me that you're in the outfield. You could tell me that you're the pitcher. Whatever you do. If you do gymnastics, tell me what your favorite part of gymnastics is. Some of you may have just started lessons since we just started the new school year. Sometimes people just start lessons. And they could tell me about that. And maybe you haven't gone very many times, but maybe you could just tell me what you liked the first time or what you're looking forward to. The next thing I want you to do is to tell me about a friend. So you can tell me about a couple, or you can tell me about maybe your best friend. And all you would do there is, like, if your best friend's name is Sally, you might say Sally. Maybe she lives in another state. Sally in Pennsylvania. She's 10. Or however old she is. Or maybe it's your next door neighbor. Sally, next door neighbor, we like to swim. Something like that. So you're going to put that in this next one. Now remember, you can only put 3 or 4 words in each one. So if I were going to tell you about my friend, actually, I won't erase this. But if I were going to tell you about my friend, I might say Patty, North Carolina, college. I met her in college. So see, I'm only writing a couple of words. Patty from North Carolina, I met her in college. So I could tell you about her with those couple of words. So you're just writing a few words. So first you told me about your family, then you've told me about whether you like sports or music. Tell me about your best friend. Then I want you to tell me a favorite memory. Maybe you went to the beach this summer. Maybe you went to the mountains. Maybe you went on a cruise. Well, I guess you didn't go on a cruise. They aren't having those right now. Maybe you swam all summer in your pool, and that was really fun. I want you to think of one thing that was a really fun memory this summer? And you have to tell me. So if you went to the beach, it would be beach. Maybe you went to the beach in North Carolina. You could put beach, North Carolina, ocean. Maybe you enjoyed swimming in the ocean. So you have to tell me a favorite memory. And then the last thing you have to tell me is your favorite toy. So even big people have toys. So one of my favorite things to do, at least lately, not all the time, is to play solitaire. So cards, or I play online. And so maybe you have a game online that you like to play. Or maybe you have a board game that you like to play. Those count as toys. Or maybe it's a remote car, or maybe it is building with Legos. That's always a really fun thing to do. So you have to tell me about that. So here are the categories that I want to find out about you. Now, some of you already maybe wrote sentences along these lines, but you probably didn't write keyword outlines. So that's what we're doing right here. And so this is called a keyword outline. We did one in class with me the other day. And now we're doing one with you. So this is the format. I'm going to send this to your parents so they know what you're doing tomorrow. And I will also send you an outline sheet that you can actually go through and fill all those things in before you tell your mom about it. So again, I will be sending those to your mom. You're going to fill it out, and then you have to tell your mom. And then I want to see these on Monday, so I want to see what you did with them. So hopefully this wasn't too hard, and next week, like I said, I will be handing out the writing packets for you, and those are going to go in your notebooks as well. Your mom probably can take about half of the pages out. She just needs to make sure she puts them someplace where she won't forget them, and they need to come, the rest of them will come in later in the year. So I hope this was helpful. I've actually only kept it to 30 minutes. So normally we meet for a whole hour in class. So you only had to sit here for 30 minutes. That's exciting. Then on Thursday, I will be meeting up with you guys online. We'll have our first Google Meet. And I want you to share some of these. So after you share them with your mom on Thursday, you can share them with me. So I'll be sending your mom the Google Meet link, and we will be meeting on Thursday, and we will make sure that we get all of this knowledge of each other. We'll learn about each other a little bit more. So I look forward to seeing you in class on Monday, but I'll see you on Thursday as well. So I hope you guys have a good day, and please let me know if you have any questions.